We came so far from dreams. The path was hard for me. They thought we fall, you see. Well, look at us now, look at us now. We make it hot when we on the scene, yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team, yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around, you know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we. Tell me who better than we. We soaring to places you never could reach. When we walk in that spot, don't hear none of you speak. Shh, do you want peace or the peace? A king about to put you to sleep. Listen, my team is elite. You not even qualified to compete. He starving, he barely can eat. I guess that's why he always itching for beef. So I put him on ice and I told him to chill. Close your mouth if you can't pay for the meal. Making statements that you know you don't mean. Nice guy trying to act like he mean. Keep it a buck, keep it a bean. Attitudes will put you dudes in the beam. Izuku, he don't live in reality. Shake back, all become a fatality. Yeah, how you gon' hate when you mirror us? He think he a star, he ain't serious. X him out, we not on the same frequency. If you broke, you ain't hearing us. Work the screw, anime, that's how I feel, period. We winning, that's making them furious. We make it high when we on the scene, yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team, yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around, you know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we.
Yo, what it do, guys? Here's your boy, Leo Mookie here, back with you with another new part of What If Izuku Can Summon Heroic Spirits. This is part 25, and yeah, it's been a long time since I last uploaded a part for this, especially that of two months ago, if I recall. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Besides being on vacation and also worrying about that of my revenue, and also other things too I need to test out. And just like that of my other used to be popular what ifs, if this one basically doesn't make the numbers that it used to as well, then most likely this one will be less uploaded as much as the others. So yeah. Anyway, let's go through that of a quick recap. In the last part, we talked about basically all those in their currently going through that of their agencies. Well, mainly those who will play an important role during this arc, actually. From that of Bakugo at Best Genius Agency, from Ida, now working with his fully healed brother, Tensei, now still going by Ingenium, who has plans on taking care of that of the hero killer, Shoto, in his working with that of his father, just like in canon. However, he only went there just to find out what it's like to be the number 2 hero and what it takes to reach that spot. And last but not least, Izuku, where Sakura, or Lady Archer, shows that of her agency, the importance of her agency, both in that of the Hero Society and also Mage Society as well. Also a crash course on that of the Hero Info Network, telling Izuku that there's most likely a spy, or rather a traitor, at that of UA, and also giving him a task, besides training him on how to use tracing magicraft to take down Stain with at least 2 of his servants. As in the coming of days, or rather, tomorrow night, is going to be an interesting one. So with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? Currently tonight, over Hosu City, a familiar purplish warp gate quirk opens up, as the eyes of Kurogiri soon appear within, enter out of it, being that of Stain. Within, soon, Stain couldn't help but sigh before saying, I said I will keep my eye on the League of Villains. I expect that young man not to disappoint me when he's already shown that he has some conviction, but barely anything. Within, Kurogiri saying, my apologies for wasting your time, hero killer, but please, we would still hope that you don't reconsider your decision. My decision is final, unless that young man can basically show me that he does have conviction, real conviction, instead of just wanting to kill or destroy things that he wants. Then, the League of Villains means nothing to me. As for me, I still have many more fakers to cull, especially one pro that miraculously got a full recovery. It's time for me to rectify that mistake that should have been permanent. Within, soon, Stain basically jumps from building to building after finishing his conversation with Kurogiri. Within, Kurogiri narrowing his eyes a bit, before then soon reporting back to the bar, as there you could basically see tons of small globs of blood on the ground of the bar, with even Shigaraki having that of a knife wound in that of his shoulder, with then saying, "That damn hero killer, I'm gonna make him pay for that." With then soon Kurogiri going over to that of Shigaraki, as he brings that of a first aid kit, bandaging up his wound, saying, "Calm yourself, Tomo Shigaraki." With then saying, calm myself? Why the hell should I be calm after that bastard stabbed me? And even you, Kurogiri. Whatever, not only that quirk of his. But then, soon, Shigaraki begins to go back into that flashback when Shigaraki told the reason on why he wants to destroy All Might and anything that annoys him, especially Izuku, more than anything, as this was unsatisfying answers for Stain, as he pounces onto that of Shigaraki, before then slicing up that of Kurogiri's, shoulder, before then he stabs into that of Shigaraki. However, before then Shigaraki could react, with then Stain basically licking his blood, before then soon Kurogiri basically is paralyzed, unable to move, but he doesn't stop there, as then the wound on that of Kurogiri, the blood begins to basically come out of his body, as it being that of a blackish blood than that of the normal red or crimson red. Within, the blood begins to wrap around that of Kurogiri. Before then, it solidifies, turning fully solid, almost like that of ropes or chains. Within, soon, Kurogiri saying, What is the meaning of this? Not only I can't move, but my blood, it's wrapping. Why is it basically having a mind of its own? Is this the hero killer's quirk? Within, soon, Shigaraki saying, Kurogiri, warp him, damn it! Saying, I can't. I'm completely indisposed. Saying, seeing that you don't know what I'm capable of. And not only that you don't know about my quirk, proving even more on how unfolly and unuseful you all are. As for you, as he glares down at that of Shigaraki saying, you are such an impudent child to basically have no conviction and just do what you do because you don't like things. It's pathetic. Truly, not only the age of heroes has basically decayed and withered, but it's also create that of villains like you. Villains with no drive, no passion, no nothing that would basically reach higher goals, unlike those of the villains of yore. Within, Shigaraki saying, the hell are you talking about? Heroes and villains, historical figures from the past, they were the ones who stood above all, even above that of the heroes and villains of today. The ones who made their name in history. Not from the shadows, but sketched through time. Fortunately, in this day and age, there's only one man who I would see become part of the Grail. One man who deserves to be part of the throne of heroes. Within, soon hearing that name, Shigaraki saying, Throne of Heroes? No, he isn't. All Might's the only one in this day and age. Everybody else is nothing but a money-grubbing, fame-hungry faker. The villains are no different. Pathetic, doing that of petty crimes and selfish entitlement, not able to reach higher than that of true villains from the past. Only one villain, I would believe, would be able to reach those heights, would reach the level of being part of the throne as well. And yet, nobody knows where he even is anymore. Within, soon, however, that certain person that he's bringing up is aware of he's speaking of, not knowing on what he mean by throne, but he is talking about him as this being all for one. As all for one eternally thinking, he knows about me? I'm guessing some people still believe that I am dead as well. Makes sense. But what did he mean that I am worthy to be part of the throne, like All Might? Throne of Heroes? Pish posh. Like I would ever be part of something so ridiculous and stupid. Although, there was that one time, a subordinate all those many years ago. He had such a unique and interesting quirk. However, there was only one problem. Neither I nor the doctor could either take or copy his quirk. And yet, the man rambled that he wants that of resources and items that will allow him to access a world beyond our own, a world to bring the past to the present. I thought he was spewing basically nonsense back then, and still do to this day. But now, as All For One is basically thinking to himself, basically not even paying attention to what's going on in the bar, as Shigaraki basically decays Stain's knife within saying, conviction, drive, I don't care about any of that. All I want is to make sure that I make All Might and that damn brat suffer. That's the only thing that matters for me. As he begins to decay Stain's knife. But then soon, Stain couldn't help but think, he's got drive. Not real conviction or basically a real goal. But just drive alone isn't going to save him. But then soon, the blood out of that of Shigaraki's wound begins to wrap around him as well, as he's unable to even move. But then soon, the rusted knife in that of Shigaraki's wound is still in there. But then saying, what the hell did you do? What kind of quirk is this? Saying, like I would tell you fools. Within soon snapping his fingers as the blood around that of Kurogiri finally goes back into his wound as he tries huffing. Before then he can even feel his body moving again as well. Within saying, you missed villain. Within saying, yes, hero killer. As Stain tells him, make a portal for me back to Hosu. It doesn't matter where you sent me, at least on top of a rooftop. That's all that matters. Within soon, Kurogiri creates that of a warp gate for Stain. As then Stain walks out saying, as soon as I leave, your blood chains will basically disappear. I expect better things from you the next time I see you, boy. What then walks through that of the gate. Before then soon, the blood chains basically disappear. But then, the warp gate disappears as well, as Shigaraki couldn't help but stand back up, pulling out that other rusty knife, as he couldn't help but grit his teeth in that of pure and utter annoyance and hatred. Say, damn it, damn it all. I'm going to kill him, that's for damn sure. No one disrespects me like this. Within, Shigaraki almost rattling like that of a wild animal. As for All For One, through the monitor when he saw all this, saying, if I recall from the medical records that the doctor gave me, or basically told me about, he said that Chizuru Akagoro, otherwise originally known as Stendhal the Vigilante, originally 6 years ago, before becoming the hero killer today, only had that of a quirk that allows him to stun people based off their blood type once he licks them. However, it seems like he has another quirk. How is this even possible? I haven't really talked to that other boy. If I had somebody like him by my side and gave him a quirk like that, he would be a perfect enforcer for not just me, but also Tomura. And yet, how is he able to use blood like that? Could it have been that of a quirk awakening? Quirk awakenings are rare nowadays because nobody goes through a lot of strain and stress like they did back in the old days. Back during the paranormal days. He must have possibly gotten a quirk awakening during his time when he was away from the public eye. If that's the case, I may need to ask the doctor for a little bit of favor. But then soon, Kurogiri soon appears and bandaging up Tomura. But then soon, Shigaraki spoke up saying, Master, are you listening? As then, All For One spoken up to that of his successor, with then saying, yes, Tomura. But then saying, how many Nomu do we have left? With then saying, I see where you're doing, but are you sure about this boy? Saying, I'm more sure than I have ever been until now. How many, master? With then, soon, looking over to that of the doctor, within him speaking, saying, we only have that of many incomplete Nomus. The only 3 Nomus that are somewhat, that we planned on giving to that of Shigaraki, outside of the one that was made to use to take care of that of All Might, are still raring to go. However, it's only those 3. The others are still incomplete. With then saying, Tomura, it seems we only have that of 3 Nomu that are capable of. With then saying, fine, I'll take them. And I'm heading to Hosu with them. With then saying, so Stain has shaken you up that much, hasn't he? Saying, I want to kill him just as much as that damn green brat from UA. I'm going to make sure that the hero killer is nothing but a footnote in history as he speaks. History this, history that. I'm going to make sure, if he cares about history that much, I'll make him basically erased from the analogs of history, as he says. With then, hearing that, All for One couldn't help but smile, saying, his hatred is growing quite well. He'll truly be perfect once he's fully ready. With then saying, very well, Tomura, do as you please. Tomorrow, as for now, get some rest. You'll need those wounds to be patched up properly. With then, soon, closing up that of the TV, as All for One couldn't help but think, this may be a perfect opportunity to see how much Tomura will grow. He still needs his conviction, his true motivation, outside of just wanting to destroy those that he don't like. As All for One couldn't help but smile to himself on how much he's manipulated the boy to become his perfect vessel. As for the rest of the other day, during that time, Izuku was studying that of tracing magic craft, actually. However, when it came to Sakura's interpretation of tracing magic craft, the very magic craft that was developed by that of her ancestor, Shiro Emiya, which the magic craft was supposed to be a fusion of both reinforcement and projection magic craft. However, that's only on the surface. In reality, tracing magic craft is more than that. It's basically using that of your mind and using magic craft and also through that of your magic circuits to structurally analyze, reproduce, and also understand the thing that you're trying to read and figure out. Originally, Shiro Emiya used this to basically fix up things and use to enhance and to help him enhance that of his physical capabilities. It's only when he started using that of the other 2 forms of magic craft, that it became tracing magic craft, being able to create and trace that of weapons in that of thin air. However, originally, doing so ended up causing quite a bit of strain on the body, especially a human body. Shortly, if you basically try to create that of weapons, like regular generic weapons with barely any magic capabilities whatsoever, then it will basically not cause too much of a pain. Over multiple uses of doing it, then it would cause pain. However, if you start incorporating that of magic craft into those weapons, like that of elemental magic craft, for an example, then the signs will begin to show more often. Or if you begin, stupidly get the idea to create that of minor noble phantasms to fight against mages and servants, then yeah, you're basically destroying your body from the inside out. And the signs basically show that your skin basically turns more dark, your hair loses its coloration, your eyes lose its original color and go that of amber orange. And the last thing is your bones and muscles become so damn brittle that you can barely even move. And that's not even the worst part. The worst part is you can destroy your magic circuits if you go that far of trying to create that of miniature, small, noble phantasms, which basically makes you completely magicless. And every time when you try using your magic circuits and or prana points to do that of tracing magicraft again, your body would be destroyed. So again, it was always kind of stupid. Hell, even the Mage Association alongside the church was trying to ban this practice of magicraft, given on how self-destructive it is. Sure, there are other forms of magicraft that are also self-destructive, but at least there's limits to where you can go with that. This, on the other hand, has no limits, and it can destroy you even when it's basically at its weakest. However, after that of the Fifth Holy Grail War, Shiro Emiya, alongside that of his, two other wives, Ren Tosaka and Shiro Matoi, took their spots as the heads of their families at the time, with Sakura renaming the Matoi family to that of the Emiya family, and the Tosakas staying the same. Doing that allowed that, and since the Matois were an influential family, even though that they were basically a family dying out, they still had a lot of political power behind that family name. Soon allowed that of tracing magicraft to still be a practice in magicraft, but over the years, each descendant of the Emiya Matoi family began to hone it to the point that there are several ways to basically minimize that of the self-destructive damages. Not completely remove them entirely, because of course there's always going to be risk to using magicraft from time to time, but at least ways to not cause them to be, everlasting, as a certain hero of justice complex hero likes to downplay his issues, and a certain UBW timeline, but that's beside the point. The point is, Izuku is able to learn it, however, he has to take it slow, not rush into it, or he'll basically ruin his magic circuits. And yeah, it's due to him using that of his servants, his multiple magic circuits have been open, which gave him a lot of piranha points. However, damaging at least even one of those circuits could cause a lot of problems. This was a direct order from Sakura. Hell, even his servant had to make sure that Izuku doesn't use that of his while studying that of tracing magicraft. He had to not use a single brand of his magic circuits, only use them to analyze structural analysis and basically figure out items around him. After getting a better feel of basically structural analysis on things, then he could start using that structural analysis when he's creating that of his weapons using projection magic. But after that, that's when the issues would show up. It would put a lot of strain on his body to even create that of a single weapon, but due to him being a master chosen by that of Alaya, and also connected to that of the Holy Grail, and he's been using that of multiple weapons and items ever since, he just hasn't been able to use that of the magic craft or magic tied to those weapons, or rather their noble phantasms. Then Izuku would grow even stronger, and he wouldn't have to rely on his servants all the time, which is one of the main things that Izuku is trying his best. He doesn't want to feel like that of a, burden to them, as, the events of the USJ still rings in his head after all, on how useless he was against that of the Nomu. If he's able to defeat Stain tomorrow night, then that will prove that he can actually be able to fight by his servant's side without having to rely on that of fusion magicraft. However, that's easier said than done, but who could say? But that's what's not important right now. What's important is that he's focusing on improving himself with this magicraft. As for his servants, when they saw this training today, let's just say all of them had their very own opinions. With Sigurd basically seeing that Izuku's working hard to stand by their side equally, couldn't help but admire his determination. Sky Hatch also thinking the same thing, that her student and current love is basically trying to reach a new level where he doesn't feel like that of a burden to them, which shows of her being proud of how he's trying to reach bigger heights and greater heights through his accomplishment alone. However, and even that of Odysseus as well, seeing on how much his little master is trying to improve and grow stronger, and again feels honored to have him as a master. Even BB couldn't help but comment on that of their little new master, seeing on how much he's trying to improve. At least he's not being on the same level of stupidity as Shiro Emiya, as she likes to say, even though she knows that he kind of has that Shiro mentality. However, his other servants, on the other hand, from that of Kotaro, Nobu, Sheba, Nightingale, and even Medusa, thinks that Izuku was pushing himself too far, and it's their duty to protect him, their duty to help him and provide for him as well. To be fair, if they were in the middle of a Holy Grail war, then yeah, having him improve himself and grow stronger to support them as that of master and servants is smart, and it makes a lot of sense. But this isn't a Holy Grail war, and their main duty is to protect their master, so he can achieve his goal and reach to becoming the next #1 hero. That's their only goal. However, Himiko, on the other hand, she's basically in a split between that of being proud of Izuku for seeing how much he improves, but also a little bit worried, given that he is her destined one after all, and she doesn't want him getting hurt. So she decides to do something to help him out during his training, but needs to wait at least until then. The very next day, it's now time for the meeting for the operation against the hero killer, with then, as they're currently at that of the Ingenium Agency in Shibuya, as Izuku and his servants, alongside that of Shoto and Ida, all meet up together, and also Bakugo. Also, speaking of Bakugo, within both Kotaro, alongside that of Nobunaga, actually couldn't help but laugh out loud looking at that of Bakugo's new appearance. The reason being, right now he doesn't have his gauntlets. He's wearing that of blue jeans, and the funniest part is his hair is combed over, forcing the two Japanese servants to basically laugh on the ground, laughing their asses off, as Bakugo couldn't help but get annoyed and angry at that of Izuku's servants. And till this day, everybody still sees Izuku's servants as a sentient quirk. And you know what they say about sentient quirks? As they speak out in public, it's actually the inner thoughts of their current quirk user. So currently, Bakugo is having that of murderous glare at that of Izuku, thinking that his servants are laughing at him because he's laughing at Bakugo. As he couldn't help but growl, "One day, Deku, just you wait. One day I'm going to kill you for real." As then, both that of Nightingale and also Sigurd basically grabbing the Japanese servant off the ground and telling him to straighten up. Within soon, Nobunaga could help but say, lighten up, you two. You can't help but laugh at him. I mean, look at him. It's the perfect opportunity to do so. With then Kotaro having his eyes, covered by his bangs, but however, you could see that of the smirking grin on his face, within him just nodding his head over and over again. With Sigurd wearing that of his regular, level 1 default outfit, with the mask on and everything, couldn't help but sigh under it. Within, soon, Himiko, basically still clinging onto that of Izuku's arm, couldn't help but say, so this is your friends and classmates, darling. Within, Izuku saying, hey, Himiko, please don't say darling. To them, you are a sentient quirk, so... Within saying, oh, right, makes sense. So I'll just call you Master instead. Saying, fine. As Izuku is just accepting his fate, within, Shoto, alongside that of Ida, basically walks over to Izuku. As Shoto says, Midoriya, looks like you're here as well. Within, saying, Todoroki, Ida. Within, looking at Ida, saying, Ida, are you... It's good to meet you too, Midoriya, again. And yes, I'm doing fine, actually. It's honestly a dream come true working alongside that of my brother as an official pro here in his agency. It's something I've always looked forward to, so you don't need to worry about me. I'm feeling fine. But this operation, on the other hand, with then soon, looking back, seeing tons of pros all around that of the agency, from that of from not just that of Best Genius, Endeavor, and also Lady Archer, but also that of many pros from Hosu, such as that of Manual and Native. Within, BB actually couldn't help but basically sit into that of a nearby table on crossing her legs, and basically leaning back on the table. Couldn't help but say, look at all this. So many pros in one good spot. It looks like a few of them, and many of them, are all from Hosu. Am I right? With then Sued Izuku saying, BB! With then Shoto saying, new sentient quirk, Midoriya? With then, soon Bakugo stopped growling, before then noticing that of BB, and not just her, but also Himiko as well. With then, soon, Bakugo couldn't help but growl and out of frustration and anger, saying, we've only started this damn internships for 2 days, and that damn nerd has already grown this strong by summoning 2 more sentient bastards? Damn it! And yet, I'm being groomed by that damn that damn pants freak! Within soon, Bakugo basically basically clenching his arms in his hands, before it then brings him down saying, you know what, doesn't matter. We're taking out the hero killer, right? So, all I need is my opportunity to basically blast that damn killer to Kingdom Come. And then after that, people will know who the destined #1 hero is gonna be. To me, the sports festival was nothing but a fluke. That damn other sentient quirk of his basically cheap shot at me. Remembering the fact that Izuku used one of his command seals to summon Nightingale straight to the stadium, without her basically destroying that of the infirmary and the rest of the stadium just to make it in, given her berserker strength after all. So she can land that of a critical hit and basically sucker punch Bakugo out of the arena, giving Izuku the win, which was the main reason why he used the command seal. Not to cause any collateral damage and, well, it's structural damage to that of the arena after all. So yeah, but to Bakugo, it seemed more like that of a cheap shot. Soon entering in that of the meeting room, being that of Ingenium Tensei, with then soon Izuku saying, so, Ingenium truly is back in order. It's good to see that. Within, Ida can up and say, he is. And now, it's almost time. Time for this mission to begin. Within, soon, Ingenium speaks up saying, thank you all for coming. I really appreciate that you're all here. Within, as soon Tensei bows his head, within Endeavor basically spoke up saying, save your gratitudes and flattery, boy. Get straight to the point of this meeting. With then soon, Best Jean's gonna say, come now, Endeavor. Stop being so rude and rash. This is an operation that's important. So many heroes have either been crippled, forced to retire, or literally been killed. This is an important situation than just taking down just out of a mindless murderer. With then hearing that, soon Lady Archer can up and say, wow, surprisingly, only one of the top 10 pros basically realized the situation of this. It's reasons like this is why you're one of my favorites, Genus. With then, as Sakura says this with that of a casual tone, with then, Beshina is saying, normally, I would take that compliment with that of joy, but coming from you, Lady Archer, I think I'll just say thanks. With then, Sue, she can say, alright, whatever. With then, everybody begins to whisper about that of the mage hero. With then, Izuku looking around that all the pros are whispering about her, as he couldn't help but be confused on why. Within, Sheba appearing right next to Izuku into a seat to his right, as she couldn't help but say, confused, Izuku? Then saying, yeah, actually, I don't know why people are whispering about her. Within, soon, BB actually couldn't help but speak to that of Izuku himself, saying, I know the reason why. While you were doing your little studies on trying to figure out that of tracing magic craft from her, I was basically studying on out of our little pro hero mentor for your internship. Turns out, she never got her pro hero license through the normal methods. basically she never went to that of a hero school. But then soon hearing that saying, what? Saying, oh yeah, definitely. There are only a few pros who didn't gain their hero license or that of the normal means, such as being Hawks and another pro such as Lady Nagant. She, on the other hand, didn't gain her hero license from the HPSC. With then Izuku saying, then how did she? With then soon getting everybody's attention again, as Ingenium spoke up saying, this operation is mainly to finally take down and apprehend the hero killer. As then showing a picture, well, more that of a shadowy picture of Stain, as again they didn't have that of his the full appearance of him after all. Within soon a rough draft sketch of that of Stain from that of his victims that he kept alive, such as that of Tensei himself, which is pretty accurate, but still a little bit rough as well. Within saying, the hero killer, or Stain as he's being called actually, has been seen in Hosu City for at least that of a good week or so. He hasn't started killing again since, well, my last attack actually. So to be honest, it shows that he was that either Stain was preparing or he was taking a break. However, last night, a few sidekicks from that of Hosu, a few pros and their sidekicks from Hosu noticed that of a mysterious individual jumping from rooftop to rooftop. However, he was too fast for any of them to catch up to, which means Stain has returned. With then soon a few of the sidekicks that were there couldn't help but comment saying that he was way too fast for them to catch, which means we had to at least call it in. With then soon Endeavor spoke up to those sidekicks saying, not surprising that any of you could catch up to him, proving that you need to work at yourselves even more, or you're not fit for the line of work. Within hearing this, a few of the sidekicks can help but get a little bit angry or a little bit down hearing this from the number 2 hero. Within soon, Shoto couldn't help but speak up saying, if that's the case, then what does that say about you, number 2? With then soon, Endeavor can help but look at his son, but then saying, Shoto, saying, just saying, if All Might was here, he would be able to stop this sooner than later, to be honest. Within soon, hearing that, Endeavor, realizing that's his trigger word and realize that his son is just trying to get the rile out of him, deciding not to, give into that of his son's taunt. Then saying, unfortunately, All Might isn't here, and all that's left is us. With then a few of his sidekicks being that of Burnin and a few others, basically two of his flaming sidekickers are with him for this operation. As Tensei spoke up saying, speaking of All Might, I asked at his agency if he was willing to help us out, but he's saying that he's focusing more on being a teacher at that of UA, which makes a lot of sense, given that we also have that of a few UA students here as interns. With then a few sidekicks and pros looking at that of Izuku, Bakugo, Shoto, and Ida, as then soon he continues on saying, that is why, for this operation, to capture or defeat the hero killer, tonight we'll be focusing on blocking off sections and streets of Hosu. We have basically cut down to that of his pattern. He normally goes to that of dark and dreary alleyways, basically away from that of the public. Not only that, he normally doesn't go anywhere near to that of the more crowded and more, busier streets, actually. So in other news, within Gene is saying, we need to focus more on that of areas where there are least amount of people around, and look around those of the alleyways. Within, soon, Tensei spoke up saying, correct. The pros of Hosu will focus more on keeping civilians away from that of these back streets and those of the alleyways as well. While many of us Tokyo heroes and our sidekicks will focus more on cornering that of the hero killer. We've already caught that of his MO as well, from that of many testimonies from that of the pros that he'd taken down or killed, that his MO normally goes from that of alleyways. Normally, it goes to that of places where he either catches them off guard, stalks them, or basically takes them out without them being unawares. Within, soon, Bakugo couldn't help but scoff, saying, "So in other words, he's nothing but a cowardly villain. No difference there." As Bakugo speaks his mind, with a few of the sidekicks wondering why Bakugo even spoke at all, within, soon, Jean is saying, "Bakugo, I understand you wanted to give out your opinion, but such opinions is basically not needed right now." With it saying, "And then why the hell not? When we know it's the damn truth. And only that of villainous cowards basically can't even fight somebody straight up." However, within, Kotaro spoke up saying, "Not necessarily, Bakugo." Within, looking at that of the bob-haired, crimson-haired young shinobi, known as the former Evil Win. Stealth, sneak attacks, and basically catching opponents off guard isn't truly evil. It's how you use those methods that make them evil. It's like telling that the number 5 pro currently Edgeshot is evil. Are you saying that the pro in the top 10 who's known to be that of enthusiasm ninja is evil, or a villain? With then soon saying his words, as then Izuku saying, "Kotaro." Bakugo was actually caught off guard by that, as he didn't expect that of Izuku would basically say that, or rather, he didn't expect that Kotaro would say this. With then soon, and Genium getting everybody's attention again, saying, besides the point that if his intentions are not, he's still basically ruining a lot of great heroes, and it's up to us to bring him in completely. So, by now, we all have that of orders to figure this out. Please follow over this packet and know your routes to finally bring down this heroic menace. Please, I wish all your help to remove this monster from the streets of Japan. Will you all help me?" As then, Tensei bows his head once again, hoping for that of his fellow pros to help him. But then Sued Endeavor saying, "Even if you asked for help or not, I was still going to get involved." With then, Bashina saying, "No need to basically lower your head, Ingenium. As fellow pros, it's our duty to support one another in our times of need. And taking care of this villainous menace is exactly where we all need to stand together." Within, hearing the words from that of the 4th best pro in all of Japan, basically revitalized them, making them even more excited and ready to take down the hero killer. Within, soon, Lady Archer can up and say, "This is going to be an interesting." Little do they know, they're already dancing to that of the association's tune, because Midoriya would be the one to take down the hero killer. As a few of her own sidekicks, being that of mages, already preparing for how to, change up the plans to allow Izuku to face against Stain. However, little did she also know that her plans would also have that of an extra little umph to it as well. Later up that night, at that of 7 p.m. on the dot, as many streets around that of Hosu City have been closed off, mainly through that of the back streets and back alleyways as well, forcing a few people to basically go to that of different places to get back home or get ready for that of their night shift, or a few delinquents having to find different hangouts after all. With now, the operation seems to be beginning, as then Ingenium alongside that of Ida and that of the sidekicks already preparing, saying, "This is Team A, placement is secured." Within, Best Genius alongside that of his sidekicks and Bakugo saying, "Team B, ready." Within, Endeavor getting annoyed at this saying, "Team C, we're here. Can we just get this over with already?" With then soon, Lady Archer and that of Izuku and his servants and her sidekicks as well saying, "Team D, here too." Within, Ingenium laying out the plan saying, "All right, the hero killer should be appearing. Sorry to ask you to act as that of bait, Native." Within, soon, Native saying, "Don't mention it. Honestly, I was planning on wanting to take out the hero killer myself, but realizing I'm probably not strong enough to even do so. But even acting as bait seems like a good way to help out take down the hero killer. With then, soon, James saying, alright, all you need to do is just follow the script and streets. Everybody else, please stay in that position. With then soon, as Native basically leaves his agency, as he begins to run around in the streets. However, little did he know, he was already being followed by Stain. With then soon, as Stain basically follows after that of Native, within the other pros begin to follow after that of Stain, noticing that he's let down from some mysterious and shadowy figure from that of the rooftops. Within, in James saying, Stain's following Native. Also, all teams converge to that of Stain. Within, each and every one of them begin to head out. Best Jean is saying, Bakugo, once everything begins, I want you to focus more on crowd control. But then saying, are you kidding me? Saying, you're not officially a pro. If you getting involved in this basically makes you are still a minor until you get your very own license or even a provisional hero license from that the provisional heroes licensing exam, then you will be able to act. But right now, you're not. So I want you to listen and don't take things in your own matters. But then hearing this, Bakugo couldn't help but growling out of anger as he begins thinking that even Deku probably would suffer the same thing, so he wouldn't be at least in the same boat. With then soon, Tensei gives Ida the same spiel as well to his little brother, with Ida not even disagreeing with that of his brother, realizing that it's a smart option for somebody like him, as he can't use his quirk illegally and against that of a villain, even if it was self-defense. However, he did tell Ida that he does have permission to use his quirk on a villain that causes trouble when he's doing that of crowd control, just to stay away from that of Stain, while he and his sidekicks alongside the other pros take care of him, as Ida accepts this with no anger or that of, venom to his voice at all, like he would have in canon with Manuel. With that of Izuku and Lady Archer, on the other hand, within, she's saying, remember, Midoriya, we've already planned out a way for you to finally take down that of the hero killer. Within, soon, seeing that of her sidekicks already leaving the group, heading to that of positions. With then saying, right, you want me to take on the hero killer? Show what my servants are capable of. Within saying, exactly. So, you ready? Saying, already on it. As the servants that will help him in this endeavor will mainly be that of Nobunaga and Kotaro, as the rest of his servants will focus more on that of crowd control. Luckily, that Sheba is actually with that of his mother, making sure to keep an eye on her, even though the HPSC was given orders to stay away from Izuku. He still wants to make sure that to keep her safe after all, make sure that they don't do anything to hurt her, like they've always tried. With Izuku, now knowing that he needs to give it his all to prepare to take down Stain. With then soon, as they plan within Native going behind that of an alleyway, within soon dropping down to that of the alleyway ground floor and pulling out that of his katana, before then bringing out that of a knife and then slicing at that of Native's arm. As Native tries to dodge out of the way, however, it still grazes him as he holds onto his arm, before then soon Stain basically pins him to that of the wall, and before Native could use his quirk to use that of his feathers across his body to attack Stain, the bloody wound from that of Native basically crawls down that of his crawls down that of his shoulder, before then wrapping around that of his neck, through that of his neck and his mouth, basically forcing him to be unable to breathe. Within realizing, I can't breathe. What's going on? Within soon, within Stain picking up that of his knife before fully paralyzing him, saying, "No, I can't move." What kind of quirk does the hero killer have? Damn it. You all better show up quick. As Stain couldn't help but say, well then, looks like this is all a faker like you is all that's good for. I've seen your crimes, native. As he says his name in that of pure and utter venom, saying, a fake only in it for that of fame and glory. You don't even care about those who you save or protect. But then, native unable to say anything due to the blood basically covering his mouth, saying, and even if you said anything, it would all be nothing but lies. I bet that you only came out here hoping to take me down after all. That's what you would have wanted when Ingenium was basically put in the hospital. Speaking of, within soon pointing his blade at his head, as then he soon snaps his fingers as the blood covering around his mouth is gone, saying, tell me on where native is. I know the bastard has some kind of plan for me. When a fake basically gets his second win, they always come prepared. So tell me now, and I won't kill you, but I will leave you crippled to spread my name. With then saying, screw you, you damn psychopath. I would never throw my fellow heroes under the bus to the likes of you. With then saying, honorable, but in fact, that is a damn lie. You definitely would if it builds up your fame and credibility. So it doesn't matter. Your fate is sealed. Stain could basically, pierce down and stab native in the back in his head. As then a bang basically goes off like that of a gunshot, but not just any regular gunshot, a musket shot. With then the sword of Stain was basically broken in two from the tip end. With then noticing that, then soon he dodges multiple other gunshots from that of the musket. Then soon Nobunaga can help but say, damn it, I missed. Then soon Kotaro basically runs up to that of Stain as he tries to deal that of multiple slashes and strikes from his kunai and also tons of kicks to land on that of Stain. However, surprisingly, the assassin class servant is unable to basically land a hit. Before then, Stain basically jumps back. As soon he couldn't help but say, more and more fakers getting in my way. Within noticing that of Izuku, on top of that of a horse actually, but not just any horse, a mechanical horse. With then soon Izuku saying, guess we got no choice. Luckily, you guys can take care of this. I'll get native out of here. But then saying, on it. Before it then, native wondering, wait, you're the kid that was with Lady Archer, weren't you? Saying, yes sir. Saying, then what are you doing here? I'm guessing you didn't hear what happened actually. Saying, hear what? With then, a few minutes ago, as all the pros are about to correlate to that of the alleyway where native and Stain was. Soon after, a few of the pro heroes of Hosu basically say that they're under attack by villains. Within Endeavor saying, then take care of them. This operation's more important. Before, Nate Manuel spoke up saying, these are not normal villains. They're the same villains. There's some kind of monsters with that of brain cases on them. Within hearing that, both Izuku, Tenya, Shoto, and Bakugo basically all couldn't help but say, Nomus. Within, Izuku say, but that's impossible. I killed the Nomu. I know I did. Within, soon, Lady Archer saying, then there has to be more than one. Kinda makes sense. What a creature with their brain exposed does not make any goddamn sense. Within, Lady Archer saying, everybody on this frequency, a few pros should probably go and take care of that of the Nomus, while the rest of us go and help out native from getting killed by that of Stain. Within, soon hearing this, Best Genius can help but say, I agree wholeheartedly. My sidekicks and I will take care of those villains. While Bakugo, focus on crowd control like I told you. Do I make myself clear? Within, Bakugo could help but grit his teeth saying, yes. Within, soon, Ingenium spoke up saying, we'll also go and help out those civilians as well. I know this is my operation, but the people come first. Everybody, let's head to the downtown street of Hosu. Within, all of them say, yes, sir. Within, looking at his little brother, saying, Tenya, focus on protecting the civilians. Crowd control, like I said, saying, understood. I mean, ingenium, as he was about to say brother, but corrected himself. As then, both speedsters run fast as they can, and the pros that were able to at least try and keep up with their speed were following soon after. However, Endeavor was basically not even bothering going to that of the situation, as he did say that he planned on taking care of the hero killer, within saying, well, that while they take care of those villains, I'll show you what true strength is, Shoto. Within, soon, Shoto came up and say, I have a bad feeling about this. If there are more than one Nomu, then Midoriya killed. Within, Shoto's eyes widening in shock and realization, saying, the League of Villains is here. And if they knew that we were planning to take care of that of Stain, then within him coming to a realization alongside that of Izuku saying, that Stain's with the League of Villains. Within, Lady Archer saying, that makes a lot of sense now. Heading to the point. Within, soon Izuku stops though, with Lady Archer realizing saying, what are you stopping for, Midoriya? He asks that of both Medusa, Sigurd, and also Odysseus to head to that of the streets on where the Nomus are, focus on taking them down and focus on crowd control. If anybody that can do crowd control, he asks BB alongside that of Himiko to do so. Within, BB saying, I can handle that. Shouldn't be too hard for somebody like me to just lead people to different locations. I've been doing that all the time when it comes to my little games. Within, Himiko saying, are you sure about this, darling? As she walks over to Izuku, saying, I'm fine. As then, soon, Sheba spoke up saying, you didn't ask what you want from me and Nightingale to do. But then saying, I want you guys to stay with us. Act as backup, just in case Stain gets away from Nobu, Kotaro, and I. Within, Sheba trying to see that of a premonition, within realizing it does work, and it's pretty sound. Even without a premonition, it's a good strategy. Stain would have nowhere else to go with that of heroic spirits like us, to be honest. Within, soon, Sheba saying, good plan to work out, saying, thanks. Before it then raising up his hand, as then he uses that of projection magic. Within, connecting to that of the Throne of Heroes. Within, accessing the Rider class servants. Before materializing that of a mechanical horse. Gold, as it's all white, with that of golden patterns all across it as well. Within, soon, it neighs in that of a mechanical neigh, though. Within, Izuku gets onto it, alongside that of Nobunaga as well. Within, Nightingale and Sheba goes back into that spirit form. Within, Izuku saying, let's go! Yeah! Riding out onto that of the streets. Within, soon, Lady Archer saying, now then, time to find a good vantage point. Within, soon, she gets like that of a calm through that of her earpiece from that of her sidekick saying, we've already unleashed that of the Magicraft mind barriers. All the pros that are basically coming here, mainly Endeavor's group, will be put in that of an endless loop. They won't even know on how that they're basically going around in a circle. But then, soon, Lady Archer saying, that should be good. The amount of however, how long would it last until he figures it out? Within, soon, one of her psychics, as being a female, saying, my estimate, he's not an idiot, so our estimation, at least 10 minutes. Hopefully, Midoriya would be able to put down the hero killer at least in 10 minutes. Within, as Dan Sakura saying, all right then, let's see what humanity's last master is truly capable of. Within, back in present time, as Izuku and Nobu get off that of the mechanical horse before it dematerializes, as then soon Stain saying, who the hell are you? Within realizing, wait a minute, I've seen you before. that brat Shigaraki showed me to you. Within, soon, Izuku saying, so, you really are with the League of Villains. As Stain saying, huh, don't even make me laugh. I wouldn't be with those second-rate thugs. And by the justament of basically hearing explosions in that of the district of the city, either a bunch of villains are causing problems, or rather, that damn man-child has planned to do something to go against me. Looks like after I'm done, leave here, I need to kill him. Potential or not, he's too much of a problem to basically let be. And soon hearing this, Nobu basically couldn't help but scoff. Well, as she looks at that of Stain's eyes, as his eyes say it all, as she dematerializes that of her custom-made musket. But then she unsheaths her katana, within saying, I was only able to basically blast that tip of that chipped-ass sword of yours, but it's still useful for cutting. You're still capable of fighting with that blade. But then saying, another fake, and a girl at that. You look no older than that of a middle schooler, girl. Run from here, or my blade will cut you through. Saying, now you see, I would take that as that of basically ramming you down because you brought up my small size, damn it. However, that's not important. But then, soon, she gives that of Stain the same look, almost like that of somebody who understands his conviction, saying, I've seen that look in you before. A person that's so driven to basically do what you deemed is right. A person that's willing to seek it out no matter how many bodies that they stack up, as long as their ideas is seen forth. You remind me so much of myself. The self I despise more than anything. As Nobunaga looks at Stain, and right behind Stain represents that of a woman, a tall, mature woman, and that's of a black military uniform, with that of a long katana at her hands, and crimson red hair going down to that of her back, with a look of being pure and utterly dead, not even caring on whoever, as behind that woman shows that of a massive demon that looks like a skeleton. As to Nobunaga, Stain reminds her so much of her later year self. The older self that would go by the Demon King of the Sixth Heaven during the Sengoku Warring States period. Within, she's saying, Izuku, Kotaro, let me handle this. Within, Izuku saying, what? Nobu! Saying, I have to. If I don't bring him down, then that means, within, saying, people like him will just continue to rise up. People like me. Within, soon, Kotaro, behind that of his bane, seeing his amber orange eyes, so he can tell that this is one fight that she needs to face against. Within, he could up and say, good luck, Nobu. I will help if you need it. Within, soon, Izuku saying, Kotaro! As Kotaro raises his hand towards that of his little brother figure, saying, please, let her do this, Izuku. She needs to, for herself. Within, soon, not knowing on what's going on, however, he could feel the shift in the air. He could feel the mana stirring all around, as he can realize, mana? Why? It makes no sense. Within, looking at that of Nobu saying, I get it now. You're no regular girl, or some faker, or some pretender. You're a mage. Within, she's saying, I thought as much too. I was basically thinking that I was imagining things, but I'm guessing you're a mage as well. You've been using magecraft in your murders, haven't you? Within, saying, takes one mage to know another. With Izuku shocked saying, the hero killer is a mage? Within, soon, Sheba spoking up in that of spirit form in that of Izuku's head saying, makes sense. It absolutely makes sense on how he's capable of taking down so many heroes. Quirk alone, surely, training too, given how lazy some pros are, not knowing how to use that of martial arts through that of their quirks, or use that of support gear to help them in certain jams. But having that of magecraft or being a mage, it would make things 100 times easier with less effort. With then Nightingale saying, now I can understand somebody with his skills and abilities, how he was able to sever the spine link from that of Ingenium's legs to his body. Like I said, there's one point in the spine that links basically everything from your lower body to to that of your nervous system. Sever that link, and even the most skilled surgeon in the world would have a hard time reconnecting that link. The only way somebody like him would know to sever that link if he was basically somebody who was trained in assassination. And most mage families, you have to know that of human anatomy to that of a cellular level to understand magecraft. Commander, this fight may become a little bit more difficult, not harder or impossible to win, but still at least a little more difficult than normal. Within hearing this, Izuku saying, yeah, I realize that now. As Izuku looks at that of his Raven Net, big sister figure, within saying, good luck, Nobu. I believe in you. As even though she didn't hear Izuku says this, she could still feel it. As then, she adjusts her blade before rushing towards Stain, as Stain does the same, as both their blades clash in the night of Hosu. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Love to read them. So, how did you guys like this part? Like I said, this is mainly just a setup chapter and an info chapter as well, with Izuku learning how to use tracing magicraft and not basically destroying his body like a certain dumbass hero of justice in the Fate series. Stain basically refusing to join the league even more than before, mainly due to him being a mage, which we'll probably dive more into in the next part. Izuku's servants now going against the Nomus in canon instead of just Endeavor alone. And Nobunaga going up against Stain one-on-one, mainly to convince herself that somebody like Stain, somebody that represents that of her old self that she would become in the future, needs to be put down before more innocent people end up getting hurt. So yeah, if this gets up to the usual amount that I normally get with this what if, then I'll probably get the next one out as soon as possible as well. If not, well, unfortunately, things have to come to an end, and I'll probably won't be releasing this one as much as I used to as well. I'm sorry, but I still love doing this one more than anything. So yeah, at any rate, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification, keep to date my videos on below the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, gaming channel, side channel, other channel, Patreon, and Cash App. All link in the description below. So with all that said, this is Leon Mookie, signing out. Later guys, hope you all take care. You know what to do, my beloved Shiro.
Hi everyone, this is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!